Good morning, folks, and Happy New Year. Welcome to an ACC Daily Queensland Weather Wrap this wet season. Today's date's the 1st of the 1st, 2023. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update brought to you by our major sponsor, TownsvilleSheds.com. Check them out if you're in the market for a shed-safe, accredited shed. All right, this morning, monsoon still cranking away up there in the Cape. Some slower-moving thunderstorm and rain activity generally across the northwestern parts of the state. You can see some showers and storms already building, or showers more so than storms, already building up across the northeast interior. Some showers also on the Lower Burdekin coastline as a southeasterly stream of air extends to this area but doesn't extend past this area. A little bit of a mixing of air masses going on through that Herbert region, enhancing that rainfall there in that section of coastline. Otherwise, a couple of isolated showers in the eastern seaboard and eastern escarpments. And we are expecting to see some convective activity building across the southern interior today. Rainfall over the past 24 hours, thanks to the Bureau of Meteorology. We can see there's been some isolated shower activity across southeast Queensland, quite a bit of shower activity across the Mackay Whitsundays region and the Ranges just to the west. Some nice falls around the Herbert Burdekin, a couple of falls in the 50-plus range in those areas. And then across the Cape, of course, that's where we've seen some big falls, falls in excess of 100 millimetres of fall. And there's a flood watch now out for most of the Cape associated with the monsoon flow and the monsoon trough. Speaking of the monsoon trough, we can see it sort of through here, the Gulf country, and then extends basically just to the north of Cairns and then over into the Coral Sea. So to the north of that, we've got a deep layer northwesterly flow. To the south of that, we've got a weakish northeasterly flow, and across the coastal regions of Queensland, we've got a general south to southeasterly flow. But that's our demarcation line, or that's our monsoon trough line. Now, it does vary, different levels of the atmosphere. The trough line moves slightly northwards or slightly southwards, but in general, that's accepted to be our monsoon trough right in there. Right, so we've got strong northwesterlies to the north, we've got moderate to fresh southeasterlies to the south, and we've got some strongish northeasterlies in the western regions of the state too. So that's the expectation from a wind regime. We probably don't want to be out on the water across central and southern northern Queensland. You can see those southeasterlies extend right up to about the Herbert coastline. That's our demarcation line. That's where the winds decrease as we go further northwards and get into the monsoon trough itself. In that area where those southeasterlies winds decrease, we could see an enhanced area of shower activity. Speaking of shower activity, let's have a look at it. Right, so you can see that area of enhanced shower activity in the Townsville district extending up through parts of northeast Queensland. Our heaviest falls, of course, are expected to be in the Cape region and also the Gulf country, and potentially some nice little sharp thunderstorm activity developing across the northwestern parts of the state as well. We're going to see some isolated convective activity in the southwestern areas of the state. We can also see some very isolated shower activity around the southeast, central east hinterland regions. Very isolated, not too interested in any of that. As we go into this evening and tonight, we'll see generally speaking some light rain from decaying convective activity across the northern interior. We continue to see this area of shower activity particularly enhanced around the Herbert coastline just to the north of Townsville, and then we're going to continue to see squall lines coming in off the west from the Gulf towards the Cape. Alright, so there's a lot going on, isn't there? Between now and when we talk again tomorrow, you can see this isolated junk convection across the southern parts of the state. Not interested in that in the least, but just be aware that there is going to be some isolated convection down there. This stuff just to the south of Mount Isa, could be some gusty convective activity through here. That northeasterly flow is quite strong into this region, so it could be some gusty storms in there. Quite a few showers in that Townsville to Tully coastline over the next 24 hours we're expecting. A couple of showers further south in central Queensland, not too interested in those either. Lots happening up around the Cape, of course. We've got monsoonal squalls into the Western Cape, and then we've got convective activity building through the Cape and Gulf country throughout the afternoons into the evenings, and then decaying into rain areas overnight tonight. As we push to the end of the week, there's about a 60 to 70% risk of a low developing near the North Queensland coastline. We'll let you know how that's going as the week goes on. If you're interested in finding out more, head over to join.ozcyclonechasers.com.au and check out our subscription options where we go into depth with all the stuff that we talked about today, plus we go into depth about those lows coming up into the future. We certainly don't like speculating about those sort of things publicly, but privately in our subscription service we do a lot of that. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you tomorrow.